All right. Now let us say hello to the former two-time Olympic gold medalist, the PFL champion, the undefeated, the fighter who just won this past Friday in her Invicta FC and featherweight debut, the one and only Kayla Harrison, kind enough to join us today. Kayla, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. By the way, you're friends with DC, right?
Yes, we are quite tight, yes.
He should let you know. This thing about Olympians, it's never former, never past. Once an Olympian, always an Olympian.
You're right. Did I say former?
You did. You said former Olympic champion.
Okay, you're right.
Not to bust balls, but
no, you're right. And no one takes it away from you. You don't lose the gold medal. You're 100% right. So thank you for that. I will never make that mistake. In fact, I made that mistake last week or 2 weeks ago with Lex McMahon. I called him a former Marine at the top of our interview, and he said, "No, once a Marine, always a Marine." So I'm 0 for 2 in that regard.
I'm not quite as cool as a Marine, but never former, never past.
Amen.
Okay.
I wouldn't know that when talking to DC because he never won a medal. So it's.
Oh, but he's still an Olympian.
I just
that was harsh.
Sorry, just taking a little shot at it. Okay, sorry. Okay, well, it's great to talk to you. It has been a while. Congratulations on the win. I actually want to start several months prior to the fight.
Okay.
Obviously, you end the year 2019 very well. PFL champion, New Year's Eve, New York City. And no one could have ever imagined what would have happened this year in our world. But at what point did you start to get really frustrated with the fact that everyone else was fighting in the sport, everyone else figured it out, and PFL was on pause? Your promotion was on pause. When did this start to get really frustrating for you?
Well, due to some legal stuff, I don't know if I can really talk about it.
Okay.
It was a hard year. I'll just say that. It was a long year. It was a tough year. But I do think, I hope you guys recall, I said when all this happened and the season got canceled, I said, I will fight this year.
Mm-hmm.
I tweeted that out. And I really have to give kudos to my manager, Ali, for making it happen. I have to thank everyone who was involved in Invicta, my opponent, the PFL. There was a lot of back and forth. There was a lot of struggle. There was a lot of uncertainty, but in the end of the day, Ali really got it done. And so I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful that I got to fight, but it's been a frustrating year to say the least.
When the PFL announced that they would suspend their season and wait till 2021, they also announced that each fighter would get a $1,000 a month stipend. Did you accept that stipend?
No, I did not.
Why?
Well, first of all, I already receive a stipend. I have 2 separate contracts with the PFL, so I receive a training stipend / ambassador stipend, and then I have my fight contract, which is separate. So I was already receiving a stipend. Yeah, that's why.
Okay. And just curious, how did you feel about the way they handled things? Because obviously it was tough to get things rolling, but after some time, late in the summer, Bellator returns. In the early spring, of course, well documented, the UFC return. Smaller promotions like, Cage Warriors and Titan and LFA, they all returned. How did you feel about the way they handled things?
I'm going to fight one more time before the season begins, and then I will fulfill my contractual duties with the PFL.
Okay. Were you trying? So you fought in late November, right? Just last week. Were you trying? Were you hoping to fight in the fall and the summer? When did you really start?
Yeah, of course. I was scheduled in my mind. I was supposed to fight 4 times this year. That's a regular season and the playoffs and the championship fight. So, of course, to me personally, it's devastating to not get that much experience. I mean, I've been getting exponentially better because I've been fighting, for a short period of time, but very frequently. So yeah, I was definitely bummed. A lot of people didn't even want me to fight this year. They said, you're getting so much better. We see in practice, just stick to the course. And I was just, I don't know. I'm the type of athlete who, I need a goal. I need something in front of me. I need something to keep training for. And also, I really feel like I come from a judo background. So, you know, there was never a season in judo. That was just like you went from one tournament to the next tournament, to the next tournament, to the next tournament. And I just was continuously competing until literally the finals of a tournament became my comfort zone. It became like you walking into this office and sitting down in front of this microphone. It literally just became my job. Like I never felt nerves. I just felt like at home in the finals of an event. And that's how I kind of want to treat MMA. Like I need to continue to get that experience. You know, nothing can emulate a fight. Nothing. Sparring can't, like nothing. And I think it showed a little bit in my fight this past weekend, because it's been 11 months since I've been in a cage, and I was nervous. Like I felt really jittery, and I felt like anxious. And I just, you know, my goal is to be the best fighter in the world. So I have to do everything in my power to make my performance, you know, completely elite every single time, which means I have to fight a lot, because that's how I get comfortable. That's how I become the best in my mind. A lot of MMA fighters don't agree. You know, like some fighters only fight once a year, twice a year. I like to stay busy. I like to stay active.
So why did it take so long for you to get this other fight outside of the PFL?
Just logistics and legalities and, you know, a lot of stuff that I don't really even like to deal with or want to deal with or want to think about. You know, but at the end of the day, they got it done. PFL and Ali figured it out, and Invicta was very gracious and welcoming me to their promotion, and but still allowing me to represent the PFL by wearing my PFL gloves and my PFL gear, which was great. I mean, it worked out really for all parties.
My understanding is they've told the fighters that you can go out and fight elsewhere if, you know, we are okay with the deal, except for Bellator and UFC. Like you couldn't go to sign with UFC in 2020 and then return in 2021. Is that accurate?
I signed a non-disclosure about
okay.
what is in the contract, so I'm not going to discuss it, but yeah.
Okay.
I won't be fighting for one or Bellator.
Gotcha. Do you feel like 2020 has been a lost year for you, or do you feel like in the gym you improved enough to where there are positives that you can take out of this?
No, I think I've gotten a lot better. It's hard for me to see and for me to gauge, just because I'm literally in the gym every day. You know, I since January, I mean, I fought December 31st. So since January 15th, I literally have been at the gym every single day, except if I was sick. So that didn't change, even though I didn't have a fight, even though I didn't have an opponent, even though I didn't have a promotion having fights. So I know I've gotten better. It's just hard to see because I don't know. Everyone's told me I've gotten a lot better, and I've made crazy improvements. So, I'm happy with it.
So the news comes out just a couple of weeks ago. You're going to fight for Invicta. Wow, this is great. Kayla Harrison, the face of PFL, is fighting for Invicta. Very exciting. And oh, by the way, it's going to be at 145. Wow. So why 145? Was that your decision? Was that Invicta's decision? Was that PFL's decision? Was that Courtney King's decision?
That was Courtney's decision. I mean, Ali tried to get me a fight at 155, then a catch weight at 150. And really none of the girls would accept the fight unless it was at 145. And not only, again, I just found this out after the fight, but again, credit to Ali. He had to pay her. Not only did I have to make 145 if I wanted to fight, but he also paid her an extra $5,000 on top of her purse to fight me. So these girls didn't want to fight. Yeah. It's been tough to get a fight.
When was the last time you weighed 145?
I was 16.
16. How nervous were you about this?
Very nervous.
How hard was it?
Very nervous. I mean, you know, I just don't believe in weight cutting. I don't think it sends a good message to kids. I think it's super dangerous in our sport, you know, super unhealthy. And I have been taught from a very young age, it's been instilled in me that, you know, if you're going to win, you're going to win at whatever weight you weigh, whatever weight you fight. If you make up your mind to win, you're going to find a way. So I just don't believe in the whole process, but I kind of had to get off my high horse. And, my life has also changed dramatically this year. It's not just about me anymore. And I had to realize, like, do I want to fight, or do I want to sit up here and say, like, no, cutting weight is bad? So I was really disciplined. I really cleaned up my diet. Normally when I fight 155, I eat as much as I want. Like I clean it up. I eat healthy foods, but I eat whatever I want, like as much. And this time around, it was like very like, okay, 4 ounces of protein and like eat at specific times. So I got to Kansas City about 153 pounds. So I didn't have to cut too much when I was there, but it was also really crappy for my first time to make 145 because I was quarantined to the room the whole time. So it was just me like by myself cutting weight, which was not fun.
You mentioned, as a quick aside, you said your life has changed considerably this year. How has it changed?
So I recently became the guardian of my niece and nephew, my 7-year-old niece and my 2-year-old nephew, Kayla and Emery. Yeah, in May of this year.
Okay.
So pretty sudden, was not planned or anything like that. Some family tragedy, really. So it's been a big hard year for all of us, but I can tell you for me personally, they're like probably the best thing to ever happen to me. I guess I didn't realize how empty my life was before I had them. I was like, I would go to training and I would come home and I would like sit with my dogs and rest and wait until the next training and then go home. And like, that was pretty much it every day over and over and over again. And they are a handful. And it is, I don't have any kids of my own. I don't have a ton of experience with kids besides being the fun aunt, that spoils them and gives them candy and like teaches them curse words. But now I can't do that anymore. That's also why I lost a lot of weight. I think like the stress of being a parent and like, okay, no, we're all going to eat vegetables. We're all going to eat healthy, like trying to lead by example. But they are just like an amazing blessing in my life. And they've really given me a sense of purpose and a sense of balance that I didn't even know I was lacking.
Wow. And you got to skip, diapers and stuff like that, right?
Oh no, Marie is still in diapers.
Okay. All right.
This is like, these are the problems that I'm running into though. Like, how do I teach a boy how to pee? Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I go to the gym and I like talk to like Mako and all the guys. I'm like, how do I potty train a boy? Like, what am I they're like, just teach him to go outside. And I'm like, well, I can't, like, what am I going to do? Like, so he's going to pee sitting down for a while.
Okay. That's fine. As long as it goes in there and it's not a huge mess. No, I get it. Trust me. I have 3 of my own. I know exactly what you're going through.
And I also never really realized, like, I thought that competing in the Olympics is pressure or like stressful or fighting. Like, oh my gosh, it's so stressful and so much pressure and it's so hard and training and like, oh my God, like, are you kidding me? What a joke. What a joke all of these things are compared to being a parent and compared to being in charge of like molding this little human into a upstanding citizen of the community and like teaching them values and morals and making sure they're fed and watered and, they have enough sleep and like are healthy, happy, whole individuals. Like that is really hard and really stressful, really like scary. It's scary.
Could I ask, and I understand if you don't want to divulge, what were the circumstances surrounding you becoming their guardian?
So my mother, who is a very, very strong woman, she had a stroke last year. She had custody of them, her and her husband. So my mom had a stroke last year and her husband, Bob, really stepped up and was taking care of them and watching over all of them. My mom, my niece, and my nephew. And then in May, Bob very suddenly passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So Yeah, it's okay. So a 2-year-old and a 7-year-old would just be a lot for my mom is still recovering. You know, she's doing great. She's fantastic. And she was just here. She was here with them during my fight. She came down and stayed with them. And she comes like every couple weeks to visit, but she's still recovering. So I said, all right, let me take these little.
And how are they doing?
I call Emery a terrorist. Like he is like aren't 2-year-olds like I don't know if it's normal or not.
Terrible twos.
Oh my God, it's like it's tough.
Are they adapting okay?
It's sweet. Yeah, no, I think that I don't want to toot my own horn, but
toot away.
I think that they're thriving. I think they're doing really well. They're just she's going to school down here and she's getting tutoring and she does gymnastics and Emery and I do mommy and me gymnastics and they're both eating pretty good now. They were a little bit of picky eaters, but we're working on that. And I think we're doing, it's also like we get to go outside every single day here because it's gorgeous and play and ride our bikes. And so, I think they're doing good.
Well done. Well done. And thank you for sharing that. So back to the fight. Now that you actually, and before we get to the fight, I'm still building up to it. You make the weight successfully in what appears to be a healthy manner. At any point you say to yourself, I may have a future here. This is not bad. There are opportunities here. Has this opened your eyes and maybe loosened your stance towards fighting at 145 in the future?
Yeah, of course. I didn't expect it. It wasn't easy. Like, I'm not going to downplay it. Like, it sucked. I did not enjoy it at all. Like 0 out of 10 stars for cutting weight. I think just for a second, let's talk about people who actually eat like that for just like to live, like people who just want to look good or something, or like who aren't athletes, like who actually does that? Like that's not there is a better way to live, my friends. Okay. And it's called Halloween candy. And like, don't do this to yourselves. Like, this is terrible. But of course, I'm proud that the PFL created a 155-pound division, and I'm proud that I helped build that and helped grow women's MMA and helped continue to create depth in the sport. Because I think that's important, and I think the only way to do it is, you have to force it. You have to be like, no, like, of course, there are women of all sizes, and there are women of all sizes who practice MMA. It's not, we don't fit into this little tiny circle that we've been given. But I also realize that I'm in the business of Kayla Harrison, and the business of Kayla Harrison is probably going to have a lot more opportunity at 145 than at 155. So.
Okay, we'll get back to that, but then we get to the fight on Friday, and it's very clear, at least to me early on, that there's levels to this game and that she's not quite on your level. That was very one-sided, and I thought the fight should have been stopped in the first round. She's gushing blood. She's tough as nails. She's hanging on. She's not quitting, but, it seemed elementary. When you're in a fight like that, and you can use elbows now for the first time in your career, I do believe, what is going on in your mind when all this – there's blood all over you. It's kind of gross. Like, what do you think?
It was really gross.
Are you enjoying this?
It was like really gross, first of all.
Yeah.
Well, it was just it was all very surreal. I think I was just like kind of dazed to be back in the cage. Like I was a little bit out of it. And then we had talked about the fact that I could throw elbows, Mike and Anderson and Mako and I, we had discussed it, and like, quality, or not quality, not quantity. And, Mike had even like, Mike is the greatest coach. All right. He like put elbow pads on me, and he like laid down in the guard, and he was like, just practice, just get the feel of it, like rolling over the wrist. And he was like, and now that's going to cut. I'm telling you right now, that's going to work. And lo and behold, friggin' first elbow in my entire career I've ever thrown. I felt it. Like I went boom, and the blood squirted out right away. And I was like, oh my God, what have I been missing? Like, I've never made anyone bleed in 7 other fights. Like no one's even had a bruise really from me. So I was like, oh, okay, this is this is different. But then it like got pretty serious pretty fast where I was like, oh my God, this is different. Like, this is disgusting. Like, why are they not stopping this? Don't they normally stop it when there's this much blood? Like, I was very, in my head, I was like, should I keep punching her? And then I was like, yes, you should keep punching her. It was crazy.
Eventually,
I was flipping. Like, my knees were sliding. And I was like, this is gross.
Yeah, it was uncomfortable to watch just because she was bleeding so much and you were just beating her up so badly. And then the fight's over and you stand up and you don't look happy. You actually look disappointed. Why are you disappointed?
Listen, okay, first of all, I'm allowed to be disappointed in myself. I can't stand that you guys all are like,
no.
Whatever, okay? I'm allowed to
But what could you possibly be disappointed about?
Okay, maybe I wanted to work on my striking more. Maybe I didn't want to take anybody down at all this fight. And I didn't do that. Because you know why? Because instinct kicks in and you just become, the job is to win, not to, which is just so frustrating though, because my striking, I feel like, has gotten so much better. And in the gym, like at sparring, I'm comfortable. I can go 5 rounds and not do a single takedown. I can do striking only. But obviously, when you're in a cage and it's 4-ounce gloves and there's a lot on the line, like my instinct just takes over, and I'm like, no, it's time to take her down. But so I was just disappointed in that because I really wanted to like. It's stupid. Every grappler wants to knock somebody out, and every striker wants to submit somebody. Like, it's really dumb. Fighters are dumb, but I can't help it. I really wanted to like. I wanted to work on being comfortable on my feet.
Will you fight? So PFL returns in April of 2021, at least as of right now. You will fight one more time for Invicta before then?
I don't know if it'll be for Invicta, but I'm going to fight one more time.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Who might it be for?
I don't know.
I mean, is there something in the works?
Yeah.
Oh, but it's not UFC and it's not Bellator and it's not ONE, as you just said.
Yes, I didn't say that.
Oh, I thought you said that earlier. I won't fight for Bellator or ONE.
That you said that. You said I heard.
Okay.
I said,
okay.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Would it be at 145?
I don't think so.
Okay. 155.
Maybe a catch weight.
150.
Yep.
Okay. Would it be in 2020 possibly?
Yep.
Would it be in Japan for Ryzen?
What is that?
I mean, that was pretty good. Come on, you got to admit that was pretty good. Oh my God, they're gonna love you.
Japan for Ryzen, that would be great.
New Year's Eve, Kayla Harrison, 2-time gold medalist, not former gold medalist.
Cody's fighting as well, so that would be like fantastic.
No, the Japanese fans will adore you. They love judo. They love the gold medal.
Yeah.
Are you gonna fight in a gi? They love that thing, no?
Yeah. That thing, a gi.
Well, that sort of thing. I mean, like the gimmick, not the...
right, gimmicks, the gimmicks. Yeah. They love the freak shows.
Yeah, well, not to suggest you're a freak show. Any opponent lined up yet for December 31st in Ryzen?
I am not fighting. No, I have no idea.
Okay.
Again, the whiz kid Ali is working on it right now as we speak. So
man, this is like 12 Ali shout-outs in this interview, and rightfully so. Well deserved. Can I ask you though? Okay, so that's exciting, but after the fight, perhaps the one, I don't know, negative. I saw it on my Instagram. I saw you addressing it. People accusing you of being on PEDs, and I don't feel like this is something that has.
Can we talk about this for a second?
Okay, how do you feel? You're successful. You're dominant.
It really hurts my feeling. I mean, it doesn't hurt my feelings, but it just like it does get under my skin, man. Like everyone's always like, you should take that as a compliment. You should take it as a compliment. People think you're on steroids. And I'm like, are you reading the things that these, like, they're calling me a man, they're calling me Brock Lesnar, they're calling me like, and I'm like, first of all, I literally have been tested by USADA since I was 13 years old. They came to my middle school because I was on the national roster for judo when I was 13. I made my first Olympic trials when I was 14. I've been getting drug tested by USADA since I was 13 years old. And I didn't always look like this, by the way. I remember before I started judo, there was like a picture of me. I was a little kid And I was kind of like a little butterball. Like I wasn't fat, but I was like, a little chubby. And I was like 6 or 7 in the picture. And then I started doing judo, and I started I loved judo. I started taking it right from the rip. I wanted to go all the time. Like I just loved everything about it. And literally there's a picture of me. I don't know. It must have been my 10th birthday or something. And my birthday's in July, and I'm in a bikini, like a little like girl bikini. And I've got like traps, and I've got like biceps, and I'm like this jacked little kid. Like I developed these muscles over years of training. And I really want to like contact USADA, and I want to be like, hey, can I get a record of all of my tests that I've ever taken? Is that possible? Like, do you have a history? You must have it.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get that? Can I get a copy of that? Because I really want to just like post it up, But
I would imagine
I'm also
it's frustrating.
Sensitive type. Like I'm a sensitive. That's the one thing he said, mommy. Sorry. That's the one thing about that Rhonda always told me about MMA. She was like, you need to have a thicker skin or you're going to get eaten alive. Because I am a little bit of like I am a little bit of a sensitive.
So are you like on social media afterwards reading these comments after getting upset?
It's a bad thing.
You can't do that. Yeah, you can't do that.
No, I know.
Okay, I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but I do want to ask you this, a true or false question. True or false, 2021 will be your final year with PFL?
No comment.
Because you alluded earlier, you're going to play out the season.
Why are you trying to get me in trouble?
I'm not trying to. I mean, this is sports, right? This is what we talk about.
I have contractual obligations. I will fulfill them.
You have 1 year left, right?
That's it. 1 year.
Will it be 155?
It will be at 155.
Okay.
Yes.
And the question always comes up. So I just want, after this experience, are you open to the idea of fighting your teammate Amanda Nunes?
God, I love Amanda. It's just you guys are all this like it's
what all the same.
Be original, like maybe make it one interview without asking me about fighting Amanda. Everyone probably no one asked Amanda if she's open to fighting me. No one asked her that.
I think it's a little different because you're the young lion coming up.
Yeah, but I don't want to be disrespect. Like,
here's the thing.
I love Amanda. I respect Amanda. I aspire to be like Amanda. I don't want her to think that I'm like trying to build a name off of her, but because of course, yes, I would love the opportunity to compete with her. If I compete with her, that means I'm competing with the best in the world. Of course I would love that. That's what I'm striving for. I want to be where she is. I want to be like that. But she's also my teammate. She's a training partner. She's a friend. I look up to her. So it's like, do I have to like go in the media and say like, yeah, I'm going to fight Amanda someday? Like, no. I don't want to be like that. Like, I respect her too much. I think hopefully someday I get to the point where I'm given that opportunity. And when I am given that opportunity, I will do so with the utmost respect. It's not going to be like a disgusting display of like hate or anything. I will be the epitome of a martial artist, and hopefully we both make a boatload of money from it. So I have to continue to build my legacy in order to get to the point where we get to do that. She's done all the work. Like, she's done everything there is to do in the sport. Now it's my job to do the work so that I get the opportunity.
And in my defense, historically, as you know, teammates always shoot down this concept. And both you and her haven't. And I commend you for that, because it doesn't have to be fueled by bad blood and whatnot. But here you are, this special athlete, a 2-time Olympic gold medalist who's coming up in a division where, let's be honest, there aren't many other people in the division. And you're like this shining star in the division. And she happens to be the GOAT of women's MMA in many people's eyes. And it's just like there. I almost feel like I'm not doing
people's eyes. She is the GOAT.
Like, well, I don't, there's no, it's a debate,
It's like but you can't argue facts. So.
Okay, fair enough. So that's why I feel like I'm not doing my job, especially since you have now fought at 145, and that's sort of, the natural.
Yeah, I've had one fight at 145. She's also had 20 plus fights in her career.
I'm not saying next. I just said, are you open to the idea?
Of course. Okay,
fair enough.
That's what I aspire to. But I just hate it when they turn the headline into like.
Well, that's not on me. That's the internet. I mean, what could you do? So you're saying we should make the headline
I the media 100%.
Kayla Harrison, I want to beat up Amanda Nunes.
Yeah,
next.
like that's exactly what it'll probably say. And then I'm gonna be like, then I'm gonna have to go talk to Amanda, and it's gonna be like, listen, I didn't say that, and she's gonna be like, I know them, and I'm gonna be like, you're right, them. Sorry,
we won't talk for a year. It'll be a whole
thing.
Okay, last thing.
Okay.
It appears as though the 145 division in the UFC is, maybe nearing its end. Are you hoping they keep it around?
Around.
Okay. You have insight into this?
I'm just like, no. Call me Nostradamus.
I love it. Kayla, great to talk to you again. Congratulations on the win. If you do fight December 31st, say in Japan or somewhere nearby, I wish you the best of luck. I just saying if. I said if.
I'm letting foreigners in. Like, what are you?
I said if. Congratulations.
You're so off on that one.
Okay.
I may not travel at all for my next fight.
Titan FC is based in Florida. Anyway, congratulations to you, and hope we can do this again soon.
Sounds good. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.